Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular board meeting of the Azusa Unified School District Board of Education on January 11th, 2022. I will go ahead and call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. And we will open up our session with the flag salute. And I do believe that we have Daniel Torres here with us. Hey, Daniel, looks like you're muted.
Hello.
There we go. How you doing today?
I'm good.
All right, you ready to lead us in the flag salute?
Yeah.
All right, take it away.
Everybody please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Thanks so much, Daniel.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. We'll move on to item 4.2, which is roll call. Board Member Cruz Gonzalez.
Present.
Board Member Bo.
Here.
Board Member Rodriguez Peña.
Present.
Board Member Arianes.
Here.
And I, Board Member Greer, am here as well. Now we will move to item 4.3, which is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve 4.3?
I make a motion to approve 4.3.
Is there a second?
Second.
And discussion, I'll start off. The request is to pull item 10.2. So, and that's because Antonio Flores is out sick for the day. So, Board Member Rodriguez Peña, would you?
I make a motion to approve 4.3 with the exception of item 10.2. I second.
All right. Any additional discussion? Then let's go ahead and vote. And the motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 5.0, report action of closed session matters. There is nothing to report, which brings us to 6.0 and specifically 6.1, recognition of 2021-2022 classified employee of the year. Mr. Ronquillo.
Thank you, Board President Greer. Good evening, Board of Education and our Azusa community. On a yearly basis, the district recognizes its classified employees at a Board of Education meeting. As part of this process, each site and participating departments identifies an employee of the year. We are here today to honor our classified employees of the year, and I'd like to introduce Dr. Alexis Norman, our Director of Human Resources, who will officially start today's presentation.
Hello. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much. Okay. Good evening, Board of Education, student board member. If you're out there, I don't see you here right now. Superintendent Ortega and cabinet. My name is Alexis Norman. I am the Director of Human Resources. I would like to thank the Board of Education and cabinet members for all of your support this year. It has been and continues to be a very difficult road to navigate for our students, staff, and community. This time of year, when we celebrate our classified employees, is one of my very favorite times of the year. It is a positive sequence of events that culminates into the celebration we are currently having. This year, I had the honor of sitting with a group of my colleagues to interview all of our site's classified employees of the year. Thank you to Ms. Lori Ray, our president of our Classified School Employees Association, Ms. Hilda Quiones, secretary at Azusa High School, and the 2020-21 District Classified Employee of the Year, Miss Diana Hernandez, Secretary at our Family Resource Center, Miss Lica Juarez, Director of Communications, and Mr. Antonio Flores, Principal of Paramount Elementary School, for being part of this year's selection committee. I must say it was a true privilege to be a part of this committee. We have amazing classified employees, and each one of these very dedicated individuals told a story of their commitment to our students, their colleagues, and the community. So thank you to each one of our site's classified employees of the year for sharing your story with us. I think I can speak for the team and say that it was a privilege to listen to your words and learn about your very important work. However, I would like to share with everyone here or watching at home this evening a few words used to describe our people: proactive, compassionate, flexible, collaborative, positive, and open-minded. And the phrases: a shining star, handles difficult situations with grace, tenderness, and wisdom, pays attention to detail, and is totally committed to serving the community. Over and over, I heard that our classified employees guide our students and how our students flourish under their leadership. One person even commented that one employee is a ray of sunshine. It didn't stop. The descriptions of our people continued to awe us. Our people build morale, are extremely approachable, do not shy away from work, and respond with phrases like, of course, whatever our students need. They play on the playground with our students and are dedicated to continuing their education, some going to school to become teachers for our most vulnerable students and attending classes to keep up to date with strategies that support their specific job duties. I would argue that our classified employees are institutional agents for our students, and now more than ever do our children need them. These individuals are not only supporting instruction, but role models for our students. They are patient and calm, and when put in difficult situations, always treat those around them with dignity and respect. They are, and I quote, the glue that holds the place together. As we read through the letters of recommendations and sat through each interview, those were the words we heard. And it became very apparent the level of love, dedication, and commitment our classified employees of the year embody. Our people take pride in their work. I would like to also celebrate all of our classified employees for helping to keep our school district, the Azusa Unified School District, running, even when districts around the country have been unable to do so. Our hardworking team of employees are here every day and serving our community. There is no doubt in my mind that we could have not gotten through the last 2 years, almost 2 years, without them. Thank you for all that you do. Lastly, I would like to thank Yvonne Marullo, Lori Ray, Diana Ochoa, and Sandra Arkenberg for helping to make this evening special for our classified employees of the year. They put together celebration boxes for each site to recognize our employees from their school sites or department offices. Each box has a gift from your CSCA union for our CSCA members. And without further ado, let's celebrate all of our classified employees of the year and end the night celebrating our district classified employee of the year. We will start tonight with Dalton Elementary. Miss Laura Clark.
Hi, I'm Laura Clark. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hello?
hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Hi, I'm Laura Clark, principal of Dalton School. Patricia Sanchez is our school secretary and the wonderful recipient of our classified employee of the year. Anyone would be hard pressed to find a person who serves people with as much dedication, hard work, and positive attitude as Patricia. She is the glue that holds the place together. She's the one who Alexis was talking about. She responds quickly to every need because she loves our community and wants to make sure everyone is safe and learning. The number of compliments I receive regarding the friendly and welcoming atmosphere of the front office cannot be exaggerated. Patricia gets a lot of the credit for this. Everyone who comes in feels important. She volunteers for special events and serves on multiple school committees. She has also served the district as a member of the CSEA board, school reorganization committee, COVID committee, Azusa High School drama boosters, and so much more. Patricia is totally awesome and she makes us laugh every day. I'm so fortunate to have her as a partner. Congratulations, Patricia. You truly deserve it.
This will probably announce you, right? Good evening. My name is Adrian Acosta. That's right. The proud principal of Ellington TK8 School. And it is my honor to present Suzette Hernandez as Ellington's Classified Employee of the Year. Suzette has been an integral part of Ellington's office staff for the past 5 years, serving in the capacity as attendance clerk. Suzette is the voice of the front office and clearly takes that moniker to heart. Just to listen to her, one feels at ease. She is exacting in her work while providing everyone who enters the office the space and respect to communicate their needs, greeting them all with a gentle voice and a genuine concern for her Ellington Eagles. Suzette is definitely an important part of the Ellington puzzle, that one eagle you see soaring into the sky each and every day. She is quick to recognize before they become issues. Her strong organization skills keeps things running fluidly and efficiently. And if you think that you can walk past the office the second she turns her back without her noticing you, you're wrong. That's because she already spotted you in the rearview mirror she has at her desk. Yes, just like an eagle. Congratulations to our Suzette Hernandez, Ellington's Classified Employee of the Year.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Victoria Velasquez, principal of Hodge Elementary. It's my honor to present to you. Sadly, she's not here, but here's her beautiful self, Navit Lucio, our honoree as Classified Employee of the Year. I had the pleasure of interviewing and hiring Navit. This is her first job in the field of education, and no one would ever guess that she's been working in public schools for less than 3 years. She's an instructional aide working with our special education students in grades 2 through 4. In addition to her work in the SDC classroom, she also works extra hours as an SSA during the regular and extended school year. In her own words, Navit loves her students. Shortly after she began working at Hodge, our schools were in the midst of responding to the pandemic. She rose to the initial and ongoing challenges related to each change along the way. Amiable, helpful, professional, and hardworking, whether assisting with disbursements of materials, logging on to virtual classrooms, attending professional development to learn tech tips and strategies to support her learners, or supporting her team, Navit was always willing, always present. During distance learning, she logged on daily to support individual and small group learning. And when we returned to hybrid model, she was engaged and supportive. That brings us to this year. Here we were setting up again. And with her SPED colleagues, Navit jumped right into the new normal and set her students for success as they return to the new version of an in-person environment. To this day, she works with her classroom teacher, her team, and she supports each student in every way that they need. Jamie Borg, a long-term sub that works with her, says, Navit absolutely sparks the students' thirst for knowledge. She gives them the ability to feel successful in even the smallest steps they take. She is truly their biggest cheerleader. I have observed Navit remain calm and focused in stressful situations while maintaining a warm and open attitude. She nurtures her students and gives them a sense of stability during times of uncertainty. Navit embodies the Cougar Credo of promoting positive learning environment in one which is safe, respectful, caring, and productive. Parents, students, and staff members agree. We are so proud to have Navit Lucio represent Hodge Cougars as our Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations, Navit.
Miss Diana Rojas.
Good evening. I am Diana Rojas, principal of Charles H. Lee Elementary School, and it is with great pleasure that I present Andres Martinez Huizar as our Classified Employee of the Year. Andres has been a student support assistant for Azusa Unified School District for 5 years and has been at Lee for the past 3 years. Along with working for AUSD, he attends Cal Poly Pomona, where he is obtaining a special ed teaching credential.
Mr. Andres is an amazing student support assistant to all of the students that he is assigned to. His positive attitude, patience, and calm demeanor are to be admired. No matter the needs of a student or how busy the day may get, he always stays calm, remains positive, and has a smile on his face. His patience with students is never exhausted, although I'm surely he's exhausted by the end of the day. Even at recess, you will find him engaged with the students, whether it be running around with them, playing sports, helping a child up the slide or on a swing, or rescuing them off the monkey bars. Mr. Andres Martinez Huizar is most deserving of this recognition. His work ethic, dedication, and compassion for children is remarkable. We are so grateful to have him as an essential part of our lead team and excited to honor him as Classified Employee of the Year for 2021-2022. Yay, Andres!
Good evening. My name is Jenny Lee, Director of AUSD Early Childhood Education Program. Thank you for the opportunity to share about Longfellow's Classified Employee of the Year, Ms. Justine Valdez. She is not available to join us in person. However, she is online with her family and is featured on our school's Facebook page. Ms. Valdez has been with the Azusa Unified School District as a student at Ellington School, at Center Middle School, and at Gladstone High School. After high school, she was an intern in our mental health program before joining the preschool instructional team 3 years ago. Ms. Valdez is dedicated to student success and the success of our program and is always willing to support at other schools' sites as well as at Longfellow. When working with young children, all children, we know that it is important that they feel welcome, supported, and connected. Ms. Valdez understands this well. She is friendly and inviting when children enter the classroom. She actively engages them through fun, meaningful activities, conversations, and building relationships. Children seeks out Ms. Valdez to engage in play. She is hardworking and is able to anticipate the needs of our students and our program. She takes initiative in ensuring that those needs are met. We are grateful to have a dedicated staff member such as Ms. Valdez to help us to nurture our youngest students and help them to master foundational skills, including on how to be successful scholars in preschool and beyond. Thank you, Ms. Valdez.
Good evening, everyone. I am Marcela Fonseca, the very proud principal of Magnolia Elementary School. It is with great honor and excitement that I present to you our Classified Employee of the Year, Valerie Muret. Valerie serves as our superhero health aide and takes great joy in assisting our wild students and staff in keeping a safe and healthy school environment. During these most extraordinary times, Miss Valerie's superpowers are a gentle touch, a kind word, and a smile that shines through her mask. She makes an ice pack warm and fuzzy, a temperature scan super cool, and a Band-Aid becomes a badge of honor. This superhero travels the halls near and far to give aid wherever needed, and we couldn't love her more. So when you drive by Magnolia's school and see a wild heart shining in the sky, it isn't a cry for help, but instead a collection of the grateful hearts that have been cared for by our very own Valerie Muret. Congratulations for being named Magnolia's Wildly Super Classified Employee of the Year. You're our hero.
Good evening. My name is Jeanette Flores, and I am the proud principal at Murray Elementary. And it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you Murray Elementary's Community Liaison and Classified Employee of the Year, Ms. Sarah Vallejo. Tonight, Sarah is at home celebrating safely with her family, and here she is. And Sarah is a product of Azusa Schools. She began her career at Murray back when she was a little girl. She attended Murray, moved on to Center Middle School, and finally graduated from Gladstone High School. After graduation, Sarah attended Citrus College and then moved on to work as a loan officer, all while raising her family. In 1999, Sarah became aware of a position at Murray, and she knew immediately that she wanted to work there. The rest is history. She has been in the district for 23 years now. She has worked as a newcomer's aide, health aide, community liaison, and Think Together PL, and has rocked every role she has held. However, Sarah does so much more. Sarah begins her day by meeting and greeting both parents and students as they arrive to school. Miss B, or Miss Sarah, is what they lovingly call her. Sarah is so valuable at Murray and in the community. She helps students and teachers and parents with anything they need. These are a few phrases that I hear from Sarah throughout the day. I'm on my way. What do you need me to do? How can I help? I got it. And let me do it. And so many more. Her smile is contagious and her laughter can fill any room she is in. When I asked her what motivates her, she replied, "The students motivate me." There's nothing better than hearing a student say, "Thank you for helping me," or "Thank you for teaching me." For these reasons and many, many more is why Murray staff selected Sarah to be Murray's Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations, Sarah. Now, moving on, I have the honor of also presenting on behalf of Principal Antonio Flores for Paramount Elementary. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce Paramount Elementary's Classified Employee of the Year, Miss Isa Leyva. Tonight, Ms. Leyva is joined by her husband, Luis Leyva, and her daughters, Alyssa and Aileen. Isa has been working as a support aide for Azusa Unified for the last 4 years. Isa is an incredibly dedicated individual who cares deeply for the needs of her students. Isa goes above and beyond what is asked of her. She works effectively as part of a team and always carries herself in a professional and respectful manner. Her knowledge of implementing and reinforcing learning concepts, supervising students in a variety of settings, and problem solving while maintaining a positive and safe environment is a huge advantage to anyone who has the privilege of working with her. Isa has an undeniable gift for supporting students, and she always offers valuable suggestions and fosters collaborative discussions focused on the betterment of our students, all with a smile on her face. Thank you, Isa, for everything that you do for the Paramount students, and it is with great pleasure to once again introduce to you Isa Leyva as Classified Employee of the Year for Paramount Elementary. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Jenny Weeby, and I am the proud principal at Powell Elementary, and I am so proud to present Colleen Brizuela as our Employee of the Year. Colleen is celebrating at home tonight with her husband Gilbert and her son Nathan. Ms. Brizuela is an instructional aide for students with disabilities in our life skills classroom. She has lovingly served students in this district for over 15 years. Colleen is calm, caring, and compassionate. I remember one instance in particular when we were discussing a very challenging situation with a particular student. The tears ran down Colleen's cheeks, and I saw firsthand the deep love and care that she has for her students. I have watched her in extremely difficult cases proceed with tenderness, grace, and wisdom. Students respond to her gentle yet firm guidance. Parents appreciate and trust her, and she is a fun and collaborative colleague. The teacher that Colleen is currently working with is in her first year of teaching. She shared that her nerves calmed and her worries went away as soon as she met Colleen. She said, and I quote, "Colleen is an amazing instructional aide who shows willingness to work with each student regardless of their disability. She makes sure that the students grow in every aspect by supporting them and loving them." What more could I ask for? Colleen is always friendly, always professional, and brings an extra ray of sunshine to our school community. We are so lucky to have her. So please join me tonight in honoring our Miss Colleen Brizuela, Powell School's Classified Employee of the Year. Good evening. I don't know how I'm supposed to start.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. Good evening. My name is Adriana Garcia Medina, proud principal of Valleydale Elementary School, and it's my honor to present to you Valleydale's Classified Employee of the Year, Miss Alejandra Madrigal. Joining us online is her family celebrating with us, her husband Francisco, and her two lovely daughters, Valeria and Jimena. I start with sharing this because family is so important to Alejandra.
When she talks about her girls, you see the sparkle in her eyes and you see the love in her heart. I think this is what drives her to give our Vikings the same level of support, kindness, and love. We were extremely lucky 3 years ago when Alejandra joined our team as our community liaison. From that day on, she has continued to impress me with her work ethic, her dedication, and her kindness. Alejandra takes pride in her role. She understands and she exemplifies what it means to serve the Azusa community. She knows how to make parents feel welcome, students feel safe, staff feel appreciated. Her warm smile and kind ways show up in every facet of her day. Alejandra is always up to something, delivering resources to students, making phone calls to parents, answering emails, making new spreadsheets, greeting our little ones, creating flyers, networking, translating, gathering volunteers, and encouraging our parents to be active participants in their child's education. But she's never too busy to offer a helping hand. During these challenging times, Alejandra did not skip a beat. If there was new technology to learn, she took it on and she learned it willingly. She rose to every challenge and always kept our students, our staff, and our parents as a top priority. It is Alejandra's dedication and dependability and her passion that I admire. Her can-do attitude and her kindness are infectious. We thank her family for allowing her to be part of the Valleydale family, and we congratulate Alejandra as Valleydale's Classified Employee of the Year. Thank you. Yay!
Dr. Contreras, you can start.
Hey, good evening. I'm Dr. Anthony Contreras, proud principal of Center Middle School, here tonight to present La Más Fabulosa, Linda y Hacendosa librarian this side of El Paso, Mrs. Rosa Reyes. Mrs. Reyes is at home surrounded by her loving family via Zoom from Azusa to Carlsbad to Minnesota. Mrs. Reyes is not just our librarian, but a go-to person at Center. For years, she has been on our literacy team and a champion for all students. A lover of reading herself, she instills and motivates students to read, read, read. She embraced Accelerated Reader as a way to monitor student achievement and was part of the awards program. When we moved to Reading Counts, she was right there with the staff and students learning and implementing a new platform. This year with iReady, she once again put on her learner hat and stated, I need to know how to see where these kids are, meaning their Lexile level, so she could check out appropriate books. Last year during the pandemic could not stop our champion as she created a book pickup system for students utilizing online reservation of books and times to pick up and drop off. Rosa is also part of our social committee and has assisted parents with transitioning to the US school system and participates in parent coffees. Mrs. Reyes brings a bright smile and a positive attitude to campus daily. We are lucky to have her at Center. Congratulations, Center Classified of the Year, Mrs. Rosa Reyes.
Next, we have Dr. Martin.
Good evening. My name is Donna Martin. I am standing in for our principal, Sam Perdomo, over at Foothill Middle School. Excuse me. First of all, we are going to be honoring Ms. Diaz. I'm going to put her picture up. She's at home with her family right now celebrating online. Okay. I am speaking on behalf of Mr. Perdomo. So good evening. I'm speaking for Mr. Perdomo, the principal, the proud principal of Foothill Middle School. It gives him great pleasure to present Maria Diaz as Foothill Middle School's Classified Employee of the Year. And again, Ms. Diaz is at home comfortably watching online with her family. Maria has worked for the Foothill Middle School for 15 years and the district for 26 years. During the time that that Mr. Perdomo has worked with Maria, he's observed a school clerk that has gone above and beyond to focus on the needs of Foothill Middle School office, staff, parents, and students here at Foothill Middle School. Mrs. Diaz is the first person anybody sees when they enter the front office. The person who nominated Maria quoted, "Maria always greets staff, students, and parents with a smile and has a good attitude. She's always willing to help." This is so true. However, the deciding factor for the Foothill Middle School nominating committee to select Maria Diaz was the fact that during the pandemic, when the office staff was the only personnel required to be on campus, Maria was one of the few employees working hard to make certain the functions of the Foothill Middle School office were met. Most importantly, one of these functions was maintaining the daily attendance by keeping it up to date with the new distance learning protocols that were in place. Finally, Maria takes pride in her job and makes the staff, students, and parents feel at ease by making herself approachable with any concerns or assistance they may need. Once again, Foothill Middle School is proud to recognize our clerk, Miss Maria Diaz. Thank you.
I'm Carol Fieri, and I represent Slauson Middle School, and I'm standing in as the assistant principal for Miss Yvette Walker. We're very proud to announce this year our classified employee of the year is Ms. Jone Domity. During her 3 years at Slauson Middle School, Jone went above and beyond her duties as special education instructional aide. She has successfully worked with our 7th and 8th grades by supporting our students in the administration of testing, working with students in small groups, and assisting the teachers in the general classroom. She also, as mentioned before, goes above and beyond, and she took on extra hours this year, working as our front office sub-clerk. Her knowledge of technology, as well as people skills, has shown to be invaluable. When necessary, Joni arrives early and stays well beyond her professional workday to accomplish any task that needs doing. Her support with the daily happenings of our front office, the greeting of parents, and the supporting with clerical tasks has been tremendously helpful. Joni has one self-imposed standard of excellence, and that has guided her through all of her successful years with us at Slauson Middle School. This is why we are so proud of our little Joni and having her represent us as Classified Employee of the Year.
Good evening, I'm Kent Stout and I'm the principal at Sierra High School, and our Classified Employee of the Year is Miss Carmen Hara. Carmen is an extremely dedicated and humble person. She has been the secretary at Sierra for the past 18 years. Even though her job title is school secretary, Carmen supports Sierra in many other ways, translating for our Spanish-speaking families, assisting students who are ill, and covering the reception desk when needed. As our social committee chairperson, Carmen helps celebrate all staff members, making Sierra a fun and positive work environment. Carmen goes above and beyond in her efforts to work with all students and staff members. She does it with grace and patience. She cares deeply about the students and encourages them to succeed and graduate. She often asks them how they're doing in their classes to make sure they're staying on track. We, especially me, because she always has my back, are lucky to have Carmen as our school secretary. The students and staff are very proud that Carmen Hara is our Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations, Carmen.
The Azusa Adult Education Center is proud to present Ms. Yvonne Uro as our Classified Employee of the Year. Ms. Uro started with Azusa Unified 42 years ago and has worked at most every elementary site in the district. She fondly remembers when the computer labs were first installed in all the elementary schools and refers to the big white one that was installed at Murray. Fortunately for us, Ms. Uro is no stranger to adult education. She worked at the old site in 1998 as a clerk before moving on to Magnolia, and we are excited to have her back for a second time. Her immediate contributions to our WASP process, our testing center practices, and input into our data and testing procedures have played a major role in our transition from paper pencil registration and testing to computer-based support for all of our students and stakeholders. Her passion for helping adult students and love of learning has made her an invaluable member of our staff. Her contributions are priceless, and words of kindness touch the hearts of all of our adult students and make them feel at home. Students and staff can always be expected to be greeted with a warm smile and a pleasant word. Please help me congratulate Ms. Yvonne Uro as our Classified Employee of the Year.
You may begin, Ms. Benitez.
Okay, am I on?
We can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. Good evening, trustees, cabinet, and Superintendent Ortega. I'm Betty Benitez, coordinator of the Special Education Resource Center. I am representing and speaking on behalf of everyone in our program for students with visual impairments. It is an honor to present and recognize Deborah Frazier as our District Office Classified Employee of the Year. I have had the pleasure of working with Deborah for the last 10 months, but you don't need much time to see the impact she has made in this department. Her dedication and passion are evident in all that she does. She has been part of the Azusa USD family for 35 years, where she prides herself in the support she provides to our students, staff, and families. Deborah is not only a huge asset to our department and our district, she is highly dedicated and committed to her community, where she has offered over 15 years of volunteer service as a Cub Scout leader, a community emergency response team member, a member of her church, as well as helping to feed homeless and low-income families. Deborah's work ethic is commendable. I can't say enough about Deborah. We thank her for her service, and we are honored to recognize her tonight.
Good evening. I'm Stephanie Ortiz, Coordinator of Special Education for Magnolia Adult Transition Program. I have the honor of recognizing Maria Orozco as our MATP Classified Employee of the Year. She has worked for Azusa Unified for 10 years. Maria joined our staff last year during distance learning, hit the ground running, and has become such an integral part of our MATP team. She is celebrated today by her husband, Francisco, her two sons, Francisco and Santino, who both attend Azusa schools. Maria has served our district long before she was a staff member by volunteering for her son's class years ago at Longfellow. That is where she was lucky enough to meet Miss Aguilera, who convinced her to apply, and then we were lucky enough to bring her on. Maria shared that her #1 job is being a mom. She has a wealth of knowledge in supporting our students. Her kindness and compassion shines through as she builds relationships with students and staff. Maria's love of cooking comes through when she teaches our students recipes and kitchen safety. Our staff bonds over our love of everything Disney, and Maria is right there with us. We are so very proud to have Maria as our MATP Classified Employee of the Year. Congratulations.
Mr. Allen, you're up.
All right, welcome Azusa Unified community, family, friends, fans, everybody. I want to present MOT, Maintenance, Operations, Transportation, and Facilities, MOTIF. Our candidate was Lorena Gomez. She's our secretary for MOT. And I'm gonna be a little different, just go off the heart. 3 points that, 3 words that I just wanna share that kind of describe Lorena. #1 is strength. I'm gonna share a proverb: if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Lorena's helped us tremendously in finding subs every day for our school sites. She calls on a daily basis and makes sure we have coverage at all our sites. She also has to deal with, I hate to say this, but bad attitudes. We don't get the friendliest calls every day. So Lorena has to deal with that. And strength is determined by how much you can resist and put up with. She doesn't bench press anything, but she does have to deal with a lot of resistance, and she does it with grace, which brings me to my next characteristic, which is patience. You know, there's another proverb that he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly. She has a way of attacking the problem rather than the person. Since we do get a lot of phone calls that are negative in nature, she has an art, a craft that she de-escalates the situation, attacks the issue instead of attacking the person, which I appreciate. And then lastly, she's faithful. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find. She's dependable. Her attendance is great in these times where it's hard to find staff and everything like that. And I can always depend on her. And when you usually know the value of a staff member when they go missing or when they are absent. And I know that today we thought Lorena wasn't going to make it in, and everybody was disappointed because of how much we depend on her. So with all that said, I just want to say congratulations, Lorena. I don't know if you're out there in the cyber world listening, but we'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Ms. Jamal?
Yes, we have Deborah Amos that is on right now.
Oh, pardon me.
May I unmute your mic?
And I will go ahead. It is our pleasure to introduce the Food Service Employee of the Year, Miss Stephanie. Stephanie has been a part of the Azusa Unified School District Food Service Department for more than 5 years. She has started the food service as a substitute, and because of her dedication and hard work, she has moved her way up to a permanent position. During the time, she has gone over and beyond to provide students with nutritious meals, incredible customer service, and she is currently involved with our fresh fruit and vegetable program at Murray, which interacts with our students in sharing exotic fruits and vegetables. Excuse me. She has also been very involved with our curbside distribution during COVID. Rainy days, wind, smoke, sleet, Stephanie is always willing and happy to provide meals to our families of the Azusa City. She always has a smile on her face and an infectious laugh that is very addicting. On a personal note, Stephanie manages a household of 3, and I mean the 3 children and a husband. She also can be found at the local soccer field on the weekends cheering on her children during their sporting events. If you were to ask her coworkers who they wanted on their team, Stephanie will be the first one on the first-round pick. We are very proud and honored to have Stephanie represent the food service team as the Employee of the Year. Thank you, Stephanie, for all your dedication to the students and staff, and we will see you tomorrow to celebrate you.
Thank you, Ms. Jamal. Thank you so much to our site administrators for highlighting each one of our very special employees. Now it brings me great pleasure to introduce our 2021-22 Azusa Unified School District Employee of the Year, Miss Celia Castro. I would like to present you with a plaque. Come on up. And then I will turn it over to Mr. Fernandez.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Ortega, and Cabinet. My name is Gabriel Fernandez, great principal over at Gladstone High School. It is my pleasure to introduce Celia Castro as Gladstone High School's Classified Employee of the Year, 23 years in this district. In this year of return, Ms. Castro has gone above and beyond daily to make sure the needs of our newcomer students are met. She shows up to work with joy and humility in her heart, and her service to our international students is probably the reason why we keep attracting new international students. Working hard with the teachers at Gladstone High School, Ms. Castro makes sure students understand the content in different disciplines. This is not an easy task, going from class to class on a daily basis, translating, make sure they understand the content, helping them acclimate to life and take. Everything does help. To sum it up, watching her students cheer for her when they found out that she won the Classified Employee of the Year, and then District Employee of the Year does more justice. Outstanding job. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, it is really a great honor to be nominated and classified Employee of the Year. I don't really know what I do to deserve this, and I am very appreciated. I just know that I work with that love. I give the best students, and really, you know, when I tell them everything is possible, everything in life is possible if they set their mind to it, if they dream, and they have to work. I just keep telling them to embrace, you know, their culture, their act, and they can do anything. Everything is possible. It's really a great pleasure to be here, and thank you, Azusa Unified School District, for giving me the opportunity to work for 23 years. Really a great honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Castro. Thank you, Ms. Fernandez. You are just contagious. Just so charismatic. We do have a special treat for you, Ms. Castro, and it is presented by Ms. Melissa Alcantar from Foothill Credit Union. Are you here, Ms. Alcantar?
I am here. Can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for allowing me to join. So my name is Melissa and I'm with Foothill Credit Union. And I'm here to join the celebration of Azusa's Classified Employee of the Year. As a community partner, we are happy to always show support in any way we can. And these are my favorite events, hearing all the stories and the highlighting of the passion behind everyone's hard work is so beautiful and heartwarming to hear. So it brings me great pleasure to announce that we always award a $100 check to the District Employee of the Year. So congratulations, Celia Castro will be delivering your check. So congratulations on being Azusa's Classified Employee of the Year.
Thank you, Ms. Alcantar. We have one more surprise for you. Ms. Shauna Leba from Schools First is another person here to celebrate you. So she has a few words she'd like to say as well.
So good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Shauna with Schools First. Congratulations. Congratulations to all the winners, and especially you, my dear. Thank you for everything that you do for the students, for the community. Your passion just huge for your math. So it's my absolute pleasure on behalf of First for you with this little basket I made and a $100 gift card to Target. So congratulations.
Thank you, ladies. All right. And lastly, I would like to present Ms. Castro with a certificate of recognition from Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio, District 48. It reads, on behalf of the California State Legislature and residents of the 48th Assembly District, I thank you for your unwavering dedication to the students and the families of Gladstone High School. Your commitment to our future generation of leaders is admired by many. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition and best wishes for future success. Thank you so much. At this point, I will turn it over to our board president, Mr. Greer.
Well, just once more, congratulations to all of our classified employees who are recognized, and we are just absolutely blessed by the opportunity to hear the stories and be reminded just how great AUSD is because of those people who make up AUSD. And so thank you and congratulations to everyone out there. And specifically, Mrs. Castro, congratulations to you. I have had the distinct privilege of knowing you for many years, and as well as your children, and knowing the care and the love and attention that you give to them. It shows that extends beyond them to the other young people here in our community. And so thank you for your decades of service. And it is a well-deserved honor. And we are so grateful that you are in our family. My colleagues?
Yes, I have something to say. I'd like to congratulate Celia Castro. She is so passionate about her job as an instruction aide, and I have seen her in action. I was reminded that you were from Mountain View, correct? Yeah, I remember seeing you, and congratulations. Congratulations to all the classified employee of the years. I've seen many of you in action. I want to thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the students of AUSD, especially at this very hard time during COVID. I have known Sarah from Murray School since she was in kindergarten. She went to kindergarten with my daughter, Serena. So when I seen her name on the list, I thought, well, that's fantastic. You know, I just imagine a day without a classified employee. Just imagine that. And I totally know that you have all worked very hard for this award. And congratulations again. And hopefully in the future, we always have some great employees. Every year we have so many employees receiving this award. And next year we'll have another bunch of them because all of our classified employees do a fantastic job. You'll get your turn. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Castro. This is the first time that we've met personally, but as many of my colleagues have said, your enthusiasm and your love for students shines through your mask and really reverberates throughout this entire presentation. So congratulations to you. And you almost brought me to tears when you said, I tell my students, I tell them everything is possible. And that was just such a heartwarming sentiment. And I'm glad that you shared it with us here tonight. And I'm glad that you share your work and your passion with your students and all of the Azusa Unified community. So congratulations.
So I would also like to thank all of the classified employees of the year. I think we know, and it's been very clear over the last 2 years, especially with the pandemic, that you are all very critical to the function of our district, and you've been there through this whole time. So really appreciate all of you. Celia Castro, gracias. Thank you for all you do with our students, especially our newcomers. I think it's so important that they have somebody who can relate to them and make them feel like they belong here. So thank you.
Board Member Arianes, do you have anything to add? Okay. Well, again, congratulations to everyone out there. This is the highlight of our meeting, and now we go from this into the other stuff. But the other stuff is still calling us. But once again, congratulations. Then moving along to item 7.1 on our agenda, which is public comment on agenda or non-agenda items. This is an opportunity for the public to address the Board of Education on agenda or non-agenda items. Individual speakers may be given up to 3 minutes to address the Board of Education on any agenda or non-agenda items. When the public wishes to address the board on any agenda item, they will fill out a blue card, stand at the podium, or raise their hand while in Zoom attendance. The board will take blue card requests first, followed in order by speakers at the podium, and then those in Zoom attendance. I do want to remind for anyone who is here that we do have a 3-minute limit, and I will be holding us to that 3-minute limit. So if we get to it, I will interject and interrupt, and that will let you know that your time has expired. So please keep a close eye on the clock. Lika, I don't see anyone here in person, so I don't imagine we have any blue cards. Do we have anyone in Zoom with their hand raised?
We do. First, we have Mr. Adrian Acosta.
Mr. Acosta.
Oh.
Hello, go ahead and take it away.
No, I must have clicked the wrong button. I'm sorry, everybody. First of all, because I have to talk, I'll talk for like 20 seconds. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations to all the recipients. It was an honor to be here. That's all.
All right. Okay, and then we have Cecilia Del Torre.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Let me go ahead and begin. Good evening, board members, cabinet members, AUSD families, and friends. My name is Cecilia Del Torre, and I'm currently a teacher at Paramount Elementary. Tonight, I would like to voice my concerns in regards to the last 2 years without a pay salary increase. This inadequate pay schedule, along with the increase of the cost of living, including groceries, gas, electricity, and other household items, has been a struggle for myself and other AUSD teachers. Please consider at least the full COLA to AUSD teachers. The COLA's purpose is to support public employees with up to the date cost of living and the realization that we are ranked lowest within the surrounding school areas. With the quality, compassion, dedication, and hard work, we AUSD teachers deserve to be recognized through compensation, as are those districts within the surrounding area. I appreciate your time. I'd like to very quickly congratulate all the classified employees of the year at each school site, and a special congratulations to Ms. Celia Castro for AUSD's Classified Employee of the Year. Thank you, and I hope you have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Ms. Del Torre. Next, we have Alan French.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Great, thanks. First, I just want to take a moment to congratulate all of the classified employees of the year tonight. It's a great honor for all of them, and folks like them are the glue that keeps these schools going. I did watch the board meeting 3 weeks ago, which of course featured school reorganization as the primary topic, and being a proud Aztec, I was happy to see that the name Azusa High School will be retained. That being said, I would like to talk about the mascot and colors for both Azusa and Gladstone. I don't know if a decision is going to be rendered on this tonight, so I felt it proper to speak on this now. I am a firm believer that the Aztec and Gladiator mascots should remain, as should the respective colors for each school. All of this is part of a storied tradition going back decades. When you think of Azusa High, you think of the Aztec and the black and blue colors, and when you think of Gladstone, white, black, and red all come to mind, as does the Gladiator. Though some will point to the rivalry between the schools, the reality is that this has been a friendly rivalry. To be sure, school pride is on full display during the annual sports meetings, particularly the football games, but this has never been a rivalry fueled by negativity. There's simply no reason to change either of the mascots or the colors. The discussions for school reorganization, along with the final decision rendered, has been difficult for all involved. Though it has been many years since I attended Powell and Foothill, I am still a proud Panther and Trojan, and I speak for many who are sad about these schools, as well as several others closing in the next couple of years. Therefore, I ask the board to retain the school colors and mascot of both Azusa and Gladstone, particularly for the alumni of both campuses. It is difficult enough to lose Powell, Ellington, Magnolia, and all three middle schools in the coming years, and keeping the Aztec Gladiator and the colors of both campuses would at least be a consolation. With a reorganization plan now in place, the time has come to focus on giving our students the education they deserve. This includes discussions of curriculum and programs. As someone who received a great education from outstanding teachers at Azusa Unified, I want the students of today and tomorrow to have that as well. And I want those who are lucky enough to attend Azusa High to experience that pride of being an Aztec. And that goes for those lucky enough to become Gladiators too. Both Azusa Aztecs and Gladstone Gladiators have a nice ring to them, and neither ring should fade away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alan French. Next, we have Ron Tressel.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. First of all, I want to congratulate all the classified employees of the year throughout our district. You all do an outstanding job at our schools. I mean, I know that, working with my instructional aides throughout the years and how great of a job, they do in my classroom each and every single day. I really appreciate everything our classified employees do. And to Miss Castro, wow, when I hear about Miss Castro and her passion, it's true. You can't believe the amount of passion that she has to work with her students. I had the pleasure of working with Ms. Castro last year when I co-taught with Mr. Hart for Earth and Space. And I got to see firsthand how she worked with their students and the amount of love and respect that her students have for her. So congratulations, Mrs. Castro, on District Employee of the Year. Very proud of you. Good evening, board members, assistant superintendents, and superintendent. My name is Ron Tressel, and I am a teacher at Gladstone High School. I am speaking tonight on behalf of the teachers in our district who need an increase in pay. The district's team's offer during bargaining was not only extremely low, but also embarrassing. Teachers are asking for at least the full COLA because of the rising cost of living. This is not a lie, but just pure facts. The following are examples of how the cost of living has increased over the last 2 to 3 years. According to gasprices.aaa.com, the current cost of gasoline in California is $4.84. From 2019 to 2021, food prices in the US have increased by 3 to 4%. They are expected to increase again this year. This report is from ers.usda.gov. According to Norada Real Estate Investment, the median price of housing in the LA County metropolitan area is $720,000. This is 14.3% higher than a year ago. As evidenced by the facts I have presented to you, these are reasons why teachers need at least the full COLA. I appreciate your deliberation on these numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tressel. And I believe finally we have Esther Campos.
I am here. Board members, President Greer, Superintendent, Cabinet members, I come to you tonight to speak to you about a concern that I have. I'm speaking as a teacher of Azusa High School, as well as my fellow colleagues at my school site. The reason I'm addressing the board tonight is because of the situation with our sub system and the fact that we don't have enough subs to cover classes. I am asked on a daily basis to cover a 6-period class. That is my prep time. That is time that I have to grade IB, AP, and regular student work. It's extremely difficult to get that work done. As you are very well aware, I have 3 very high level classes. And to get the correct feedback that I need to give to my students on writing or any type of work is just not there because I'm being asked to cover classes. With that said, I know that we are currently in negotiations to increase the amount of pay that teachers receive to cover classes. When the opportunity or the time comes, I would like to beg and implore you to please consider the time that we are giving to cover these classes. Every hour that we have for our prep time that is given to another teacher to cover their class is 1 less hour that we have with our family at nighttime. And so You know, I know that when the time comes, I would really greatly appreciate it if you would consider fair compensation for our time that we have to give up at school during our prep. I keep hearing a common theme of the increase of cost of living. I would also support my colleagues that have spoken here. Yeah, the cost of living is very high. I'm a constituent here in Azusa. I live here. I know how much the home prices have gone up. Everything's going up. So please consider fair compensation when the time comes. I would also like to congratulate our classified employees and our classified employee of the district. Ms. Castro, congratulations to you for all of your hard work at Gladstone High School. Thank you, board members, and have a good night.
Thank you so much. Moving on then to item 8.1, comments, reports, and requests by the Board of Education. Board Member Cruz Gonzalez.
I have nothing tonight.
Board Member Bo.
No comments tonight.
Board Member Rodriguez Peña.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Hopefully, 2022 is going to bring a better year for all of us. I just want to announce that I went to Gladstone High School before the winter break for coffee with the principal. And we had the Gladstone High School Sonic Boom and the jazz band played beautiful Christmas music for the parents. And as usual, I'd like to thank Director Jade Clavacillo and Principal Fernandez. It was a very nice afternoon. I went to Foothill Middle School where students from Mocha Concert Chorus, the Beginning Advance Orchestra, also were playing. And the mariachis, it was a bit chilly out there, but the students did a fantastic job. And I want to thank also directors Mary Turner and Carlos Rodriguez Rios. Clawson Middle School, Mr. Coburn sent us a video, the video from Studio 26. They had episodes 1, 3, and 4. It was the Christmas stocking. The years were 1967, 1980, and 1997. In 1967, the background, it was posters with Hard Day's Night, the Beatles. The mom was wearing rollers. The phone had a long cord. And I'm like, wow, where do you find all this stuff? I mean, I used to have that stuff. You know, I'm telling my age now. But I don't know where Mr. Coburn finds all this, but the students did a fantastic job. He himself was in every episode and also did a fine job. I want to thank Mr. Coburn and all the student filmmakers from Studio 26. I really enjoyed that. The Azusa Rotary Interact students from Azusa and Gladstone High School made over 150 gift bags with color books and crayons. We went to the Azusa Police Department on a Saturday afternoon to present them to Azusa Police Department Chief Mike Burleson and Captain Robert Landeros for the children. They mentioned that they were going to use them as the police officers go in there in the police cars and they see children, they would hand them this packet with the crayons on them. So I want to thank Myra Rico and all the students, the supervisors from Gladstone High School with Darla Elliott, and Azusa High is Mary Turner for putting these packets together. I also want to announce a sad announcement that Mr. Rosales, Jorge Rosales passed away on January 3rd. I have known Mr. Rosales for over 15 years. We were in many committees together. Jorge was a photographer and he sat actually right in that seat. He came to our meetings periodically and also went to the city council meetings. He spoke his mind. So he also came to my kids' Christmas party that I have in my home, La Posada para los Niños. Over 10 years, he would sit there for over 2 hours taking photos of children, over 200 children, taking pictures with Santa. Then he would give me a video at the end of all the students or all the children. And at no charge, he just did it out of the kindness of his heart. He volunteered his time through many events throughout the community, Azusa community, and he will be truly missed. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Rodriguez Pena. Board Member Arianes is ill, and she's here joining us online, but has no comments for tonight. I would just like to, one, wish everyone a happy new year, and just remind and encourage everyone to be safe out there, as I know we're experiencing somewhat of a surge here and now. And so know that community, you are in my prayers. Moving on to item 9.1, comments and reports by Superintendent, Cabinet, and Student Board Member. I do believe that we have we have Annette online this evening.
You can unmute your mic.
Annette, if you're there, can you make sure your mic is unmuted? Okay. If you're able to, we'll check back after comments and reports by Superintendent and the Cabinet to see if Annette is here with us. I'll turn it over to Cabinet.
Good evening, board and committee members. I'd like to start by saying Happy New Year to everyone. Wish I could be there with you. I want to use my time to thank the business services leadership team, from Robert Zamora to Brian to Jesse and Deborah, Shannon, and my right-hand man, Miss Melissa. We have a lot of trying times coming ahead of us. We used our business shop talk meeting Monday, where we just open up the doors for anyone to come in and ask us questions. Well, we actually use that time to identify how we're going to get the mask based on the new state order of what type of mask our staff have to wear. We wanted to make sure we knew what adequate inventory we had on stack, how we're going to get those out, make sure we have a clean system. And it's just showing the testament to our team of how they're willing to pivot. Even though they already have a full day, full schedule, at any time we call a meeting, they're willing to pause and say, hey, let's make sure we have our best foot forward and to serve our students and staff. So I just wanted to publicly use this time to thank them. We're also starting our budget development for the 22-23 fiscal year. So we had our first meeting in cabinet on staffing, but Shannon and I have started the rollout plan of how we're going to meet with our sites. And we're trying to reimagine and reinvent the wheel of how we actually allocate funds and resources to make sure we're servicing all of our students and using the funds today for the students that have earned them. So I want to continue to thank my team and thank the support of our cabinet. Thank you.
Good evening, board and community. I just want to join in celebrating and congratulating all of our CSEA employees of the year. You are such a critical component of our district, and we are so appreciative of what you do day in and day out. And today, we are so proud to have congratulated and recognized such amazing talent in our district. I want to welcome all of our students back to school tomorrow, Wednesday. I want to thank all of the classified, management, certificated staff that has put in quite a bit of time to get ready for tomorrow. These are challenging times and things are changing rapidly, but this is kind of our second go run. And so I'm just very thankful to all the staff that has really rolled their sleeves to get ready to welcome our students back tomorrow. Thank you.
Good evening, board. I just want to also echo congratulations and celebration of all of our classified employees. Many heartfelt thanks from the team, from the Ed Services team. We just appreciate everything that you do, whether you are at the school site supporting, whether you're at the district office, all over the district. What you do is vital to the organization, and we are just all, again, just so thankful and grateful. And it's an honor to celebrate all of you this evening. Yesterday and today, we kicked off the second semester with professional learning and a professional day for our teachers. We had professional learning that was site-based all across the district. That went very well. A couple of highlights: the teachers were able to finish the first module of SEAL, which is the Sobrato Early Academic Language, and I got lots of really awesome feedback from teachers, and so that went really well. Also, one other highlight from today, we had 22 teachers participating in an action research project with Dr. Doug Reeves, who was with us today, kicking that off. And so we're super excited about that project and looking forward to just the different action research projects that the teachers are going to be doing, and we're looking forward to hearing their findings at the end of the year. So it's a very exciting thing. So thank you very much.
And I too want to congratulate our classified employees of the year. And I want to thank all of our classified employees for their dedicated work day in and day out. As you can see by tonight's presentation, our classified employees are absolutely essential to the work we do here in Azusa Unified School District. I also want to thank our amazing CSDA Executive Board for their support of our recognition today. I particularly want to thank our CSDA President, Lori Ray, our CSDA Secretary, Diana Cha, and our CSDA Treasurer, Sandra Arkenberg, for their time and energy in putting together our celebration boxes for each of our sites and departments. And I would be remiss if I didn't extend a heartfelt happy birthday to our Lori Ray. Today is her birthday. May this year bring you all that you wish for and much, much more. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. So we'll check back one more time. Lika, do we have Annette with us?
Hi, yes.
Hey, Annette.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, and Superintendent Ortega. In December, all students participated in a school-wide writing prompt. Many students received awards at our first trimester awards assembly on December 17th. This week, students will have an opportunity to participate on our soccer team and begin practices. Mr. Stout and Mrs. Wyan will hold the virtual parent meeting for juniors at 5:30 on Thursday, January 20th. Teachers will be available for a conference with parents from 6 to 7 p.m. The students and staff are looking forward to finishing the school year strong. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving along then to 10.0 general functions and 10.1, we have the presentation of the 2020-2021 district audit report.
Good evening, board. Again, board president. At this time, I'm happy to introduce you all to Mr. Andrew Park, who is currently the partner of Edie Bailey, who is our audit firm that audits our district financials. He'll present the audit report for both the district general fund and Measure K. Mr. Andrew?
I'm here instead. Kirtan Shah.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Good evening. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to present the results of the audit for the district. Would you like me to share my screen, or should I just go over the results of the audit, and do you all have the copy?
You're able to go over the results of the audit. The board has the audit report in front of them.
Perfect. Okay. So the board, if you remember back in September, the district presented the unaudited actuals to you. So our job was to audit them as of 6/30/21, and this will be the results of those audit.
Excuse me, Mr. Shaw, if we could, would you be able to actually go on ahead and share your screen? Can we make sure he has the ability to do that?
Absolutely. Actually, oh yeah, there it is. Share.
Thank you. We have the report in front of us, but the community may not.
All right. So this is the, thank you. This is page 92 of the report. And the title is Summary of Auditor's Results. So during our audit, we have three main areas that we look at, and we have three main opinions. The first one is financial statements. Our auditor's report was unmodified, which is the highest and a clean opinion that we can give to a school district. We did note one material weakness, and it's on the next page, the finding related to it. We had no significant deficiencies identified, and we noted no material non-compliance to the financial statement. So that's a little summary of the financial statement audit with, again, unmodified opinion, which is the highest and clean opinion that we can provide. Then we have federal awards. These are the grants you get from the federal government. And if you remember this, in past year, there's a lot of talk about the federal stimulus, coronavirus relief funds. So the district did receive quite a bit of money during fiscal year 2021. So again, our opinion on the federal awards was unmodified, which is again, highest and clean opinion we can provide. We had no material weaknesses identified, no significant deficiencies reported, and no audit findings that require disclosure according to 2 CFR. And normally for your district, we only audit one federal program, but due to the new funding received by the district, we ended up testing 3 programs: Coronavirus Relief Fund, Education Stabilization Fund, and your Special Education Cluster. And as I stated before, our opinion was unmodified, so the clean opinion. And lastly, we have state compliance. So these are the programs that the state of California requires us to audit that are present at all school districts. Our opinion, again, was unmodified, which is the clean opinion, except for school accountability and report card. And the finding related to it is on the subsequent pages. That's the summary, a brief summary of the district's audit. Any questions on this before I move to the Measure K audit?
Questions? Looks like we have no questions. Please proceed.
Thank you. So now we go to Measure K. In here we have, this is a 2-part audit. Financial audit, which is the audit that we do for a school district, but only for Measure K, your Fund 21. And then there's a performance piece. So for the financial audit, we had an unmodified opinion with the material weakness that we had identified, which was related to this fund. But again, we had unmodified opinion, which is the clean opinion. And the second piece is the performance audit. So I'm gonna go to that page here and I'm gonna show you performance audit. So in this piece of the audit, what we do is we look at the ballot measure that was approved by the voters that approved the language of what the monies will be spent on using Measure K funds. And it's pretty much a yes or no audit. Did the district spend monies on the voter approved measures? And I'm happy to report that it was correct. We did not find any transactions that were outside of voter approved language. And during 2021 fiscal year, the district spent $7.7 million of Measure K, and we tested 7.6 million. This is about 98.6%. And based on our testing, we had no expenditures identified that were outside of voter approved language. And so our opinion is clean. Any questions on Measure K audit?
Any questions? It does not look like we have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on then to item 10.3. This is an info action item, which is a discussion and decision on school. Excuse me, let me just remind you that 10.2 was pulled, so we're moving directly to 10.3. Discussion and decision of school reorganization.
Or
Oh, excuse me. Thank you. We need to back up and take action on item 10.1. Thank you so much. So back up to 10.1. Is there a motion on the floor?
Make a motion on 10.1.
I'll second.
So moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña, second by Board Member Cruz Arianes. Any additional discussion?
Yeah. Cruz Gonzalez. Yeah, I have a question for the staff. So how do we plan to address the issue of the internal control?
Yes, so those we've addressed those through training. In this particular case, what we had is we had a transaction that was paid in the month of July. That effective July 1 is the new fiscal year, but that payment should have actually been accrued, so it could have hit the current fiscal year. So it would have showed that the payment should have been part of the expenses as of June 30th. But since a staff member paid the expenditure in July, it was going to be reported in this current fiscal year. So we taught we did a training with our staff to help to understand the proper accrual. And then we've also put controls in place so that way when transactions are going through the closing process, we have checks and balances so that way we have different levels of accruals check off to make sure we're properly accruing all of our transactions.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. And the motion passes 5-0. Now, item 10.2 again was pulled, and so we will move directly to item 10.3, which is an info action item, discussion and decision of school reorganization. Just as a quick reminder of where we are, we had our last special meeting on the 21st, and there were a number of things that we were looking to address, and we were able to get through a good number of them, but we did not complete all of them. So we did give direction and vote on secondary and elementary, as well as the timeline. We also gave direction on the names of our secondary campuses. We did not make a decision on branding, and meaning mascots and or colors for either of the what will be Azusa High School and what will be Gladstone Middle School. We also did not yet talk about Longfellow and what would happen with that campus, which we were hoping to address on the other side of the break. Same with programs, we did not yet address. In conversations with Superintendent Ortega about the best process forward, I want to suggest a course of action for how we will handle this. We could address these things tonight, and we could have conversation and look at these things. A secondary option is this upcoming week. Next week there is on the 18th. We have a study session that is currently scheduled for us to look at the LCFF as well as the LCAP. We have not yet received our information on the LCFF. We could continue to hold that meeting next week and just discuss LCAP, which means that we would need to schedule another meeting later at another date to address LCFF. An alternative would be, since these items are timely, we can address school organization as a primary point of conversation and topic for a study session this upcoming, or it'd be a special meeting that we'd have this upcoming Tuesday, and reschedule that the study session that we have for a later date, which looks like it would make sense to do that on February 2nd, 2022. So these are things that we can address in the next item when we're looking at our calendars for both this year and next year, but wanted to open up the conversation. Is there a desire to continue the conversation tonight and address these other items? Or what is the wish of the board as it pertains to using next week's meeting for this purpose?
I would like to just make a recommendation. I would like to continue to have special board meetings to discuss the reorganization. There are times we'll sit here 2-3 hours just discussing budget or schools or programs. And I don't want to be rushed during a board meeting knowing that, we have other things on our agenda that we have to continue. I would like to continue having reorganizations, just discussing the reorganization. So it does give us more time and more input. It's just a recommendation that I have.
I I agree with Board Member Rodriguez Peña. I would, because these action items, potential action items are timely. I'm in favor of keeping our January 18th board meeting time and converting that to a special meeting to discuss only school or reorganization.
Okay, so then that appears board member audience, feel free to chime in if you have something to add. I would be in support of that as well. Just to gain clarity and specific direction then, which we can formalize this or in our next item 10.4. But if we were to look at 118 for school reorganization as a special meeting this upcoming Tuesday, we would then discuss, or the items that are still left outstanding is the other side of branding, as it pertains to both Gladstone Middle School, what will be Gladstone Middle School, and Azusa High School, as well as a decision on Longfellow. Programs is another piece that staff is saying that they would be ready to share with us the full scope of what program, their recommendations for a program on March 15th, 2022. So that means if everyone is in alignment with that, then we would, this upcoming 18th, January 18th, we would discuss branding as well as Longfellow. Is that fit? Please, Mr. Ortega.
Board President, just a little nuance. Sure. No later than March 15th.
Thank you.
I agree, Board President.
Okay.
I have a clarifying question. When we say a discussion or ready for a staff presentation on staff recommendations on programs no later than March 15th, I know we've had a couple of board meetings where we've tossed around ideas about programs, including International Baccalaureate, academies, VAFA. What would be the meat of recommendations? Is it building off of what we've already discussed and getting more operational and more budget information for the program implementation? Or are we talking about programs that we have not yet discussed?
It's an extension of the conversations that we have had. Just really getting our current desire is to get a little bit more input from different stakeholders. We have committees like our AAA. We have our parent roundtable. Just having a little bit more input and collaboration with others. And then coming forth again, no later than March 15th with a recommendation or recommendations that have been flushed out and that STEAM would fit in alignment with the previous conversations that we have had.
Would that require a special board meeting in March?
If that's the desire of the board, if not, that can just be part of a board meeting.
Maybe I'm not looking at the right calendar, but if I'm looking at the board agenda calendar for this year, I don't see a March meeting.
March 15th.
March 1st.
Are you on ESB?
Yes.
Yeah, they might not be on ESB yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I also wanted to add, if we're making that decision on the 18th on the change of mascot or colors or whatever, will we have the report regarding any budget, anything that by that time?
Our intent right now is on Thursday to supply the board with the most updated information regarding that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then the only other piece, if we could look at our calendars, because we would look to reschedule this study session that we have on February 22nd, which would allow us, we expect to have the information, the LCFF as well as LCAP information to be able to present on that date. So we would schedule an additional meeting. Does that work for
February? What time?
It's still keeping the Tuesday.
Tuesday, February 22nd. I imagine this would be at 7 o'clock.
Oh, 20.
That's again, wishes of the board. Typically study sessions, we don't have a closed session and we start them at 5:30.
Okay.
I'm good. on that
5:30?
day. Yes.
Board Member Bo?
Yeah, I think so. So to be clear, in February, we'd have a meeting a regular board meeting on Feb 1st, a governance workshop on Feb 8th, a regular meeting on the 15th, and then a special meeting on the 22nd. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
And so the 22nd, what was the start time?
5:30 p.m.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. So we've given direction here. We will include that formally in 10.4, but it will include these items. Then we will not take any additional action on item 10.3, but we will hold a special meeting this upcoming Tuesday, the 18th, to discuss things further. Then moving on to item 10.4, discussion and approval of the 2021 and 2021-22, as well as the 22-23 calendar. Mr. Ortega, do you want to kind of pick it up from where we just left off?
Absolutely. I'll just, I have one clarified question and then I'll summarize everything else. 118 right now, when it was a study session, was slated to begin at 5:30 p.m. Do you want to keep 5:30 or do we want to do 7 p.m. on 118?
I would suggest 7 p.m. because due to the content of the topic.
Okay.
I agree. We've been having them at 7 p.m.
All right. Yes.
Okay. So 118 will be a special board meeting at 7 p.m. We're going to take the original study session that was slated for 118, and we're going to move it to 222, and that's going to be a 5:30 p.m. study session on LCFF and LCAP. The only other item for this particular calendar right now on this calendar that was approved, we approved April 5th as a board meeting day, but that is spring break. And so we just would like to bump that just one Tuesday over to April 12th.
Is there any conflict with that?
So,
April 12th instead of April 5th.
right. Well, I think in Google Calendar, they already have it.
Correct. It's been changed in our Google Calendar. Correct. It's been changed in Google Calendar, but there's formal action needed for us to change it formally on our board schedule.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, we'll start at 5:30.
That would be a regular meeting at 5:30. Okay.
Then that's calendar number one, and then
Right.
we do have a calendar number two.
Would it be advised to take separate action on each of these calendars?
I think that would provide for a clearer record.
Okay. So is there anyone brave enough to make a motion with those pieces in mind?
You don't want to take them together? Calendar.
Based off of our council, I'll say let's continue to do them separately.
So then why aren't they
yes,
two different agenda meeting items then on the agenda?
Say it again.
I said, why aren't they different agenda items? So I make a motion to approve both the calendar from today to the end of the school year of 2023. Like, why do them separately if they're one agenda item? You get what I'm saying?
There would be a additional discussion to make changes to the 22-23 board calendar.
Well, then why don't we discuss them right now?
Okay.
I think in
Are
future,
we
if you want to have
still back
separate
on the
votes, it's good.
21, 22, or
So I'm suggesting that we vote on them separately based off of our legal counsel. So if we do that, we would vote right now on just the 21-22 calendar. Then we would have a subsequent conversation on the changes that are being requested for the 22-23 calendar.
And there is a
So
motion on the floor to treat them together.
And there's a motion on the floor to treat them together.
But I retract that because I just thought if we're going to discuss it further, we don't need to vote on it yet.
Okay. Is there a motion then for the 21-22 calendar?
I make a motion to, I hope I'm saying this right. I'm making a motion for January 18th to have the reorganization meeting beginning at 7 p.m. and to move the study session, LCFF and LCAP to February 22nd, starting at 5:30 p.m. That's my motion.
And one more.
Oh, one more. Oh, the next one is to add April 12th, a special meeting starting at 5:30. No, where am I at? I'm sorry, to delete April 5th board meeting study session and move to April 12th at 5:30 p.m. That is my motion.
I second the motion.
Any additional discussion? Okay. Then we will go ahead and vote. We'll do a hand vote. Board Member Rodriguez Peña,
Yes.
Board Member Bo,
Yes.
Board Member Cruz Gonzalez,
Yes.
Board Member Arianes,
Yes.
and I am also a yes, so that motion passes 5-0. Continuing on in 10.4, we have the 22-23 board meeting calendar, which there is a recommended shift based off of direction that we gave last time around. Mr. Ortega?
Yes, so we brought this calendar forward per board request. There had been a conversation that may be moving forward. The board governance meeting that we typically have in February, that be shifted instead to January. And so we bring forth the calendar, if that is the desire of the board, to shift board governance moving forward to January.
And can you tell me what was that purpose?
I do remember the thinking behind it was as we look at the timeline in which new board members are elected and then appoint or sworn in, that a January governance would allow them earlier access to a governance meeting to become more acquainted with.
Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you. I recall. Thank you.
So is there a motion? Is there a motion on the floor for the 22-23 calendar?
So I make a motion to move the February 14th governance workshop starting at 5:30 to January. Do we have a date? I'm sorry.
I apologize for that. Yes, right now we currently have a meeting on the 10th and the 17th. So the possibilities, if we want to move it to and keep the Tuesdays, it would be the 24th or the 31st.
And to move February 14th, Valentine's Day workshop, a governance workshop to January 24th at 5:30 p.m. That is my motion.
Arturo, is that during your superintendent conference? Do you attend that?
I don't think so.
It's usually that week.
That would be the week coming up, and I'm not aware.
There's a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, we will move to a vote and we can vote online. And the motion passes 4 yes to 1 no. Moving on to item 10.5, we have
I would like to retract my vote to a yes. I don't know what I pressed.
Okay, so that's 5 yes, 5, motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Moving on then to item 10.5, approval ratification of resolution 21-22-12, certification of signature. Is there a motion on the floor?
I'm making a motion to approve 10.5. I second.
Any additional discussion? Then we can move to a vote. And the motion passes 5-0. Moving on to item 11.0, consent calendar, and 11.1, approval of consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the Board of Education to be routine and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no discussion on these items unless requested by a board member. If a board member requests a discussion, that item will be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately. Is there a motion on the floor?
I make a motion to approve 11.2 to 11.9 consent calendar.
I second the motion.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. And the motion passes 5-0. Moving on to 13.0, business and finance. 13.1, ratification approval of contract agreement between Azusa Unified School District and Ryland School Business Consulting. Is there a motion on the floor?
I make a motion to approve 13.1.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Board Member Cruz Gonzalez. Any discussion?
Yes. My question is for Mr. Jamal. Mr. Jamal, on in looking at the one-page contract and then looking at the board note in online, it says that the cost is not to exceed $168,000 and will be paid from the unrestricted general fund. But I don't see that cap on costs in the contract itself. Can you give some detail on that?
Let me see what you're referring to, not seeing the cost in the contract?
The cap on fees. It said the cost. So in the contract itself, I'm reading it's $175 hourly for the professional services and for travel time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see a cap on those fees. However, in the notes online, it indicates that the cost not to exceed $168,000 will be paid from the unrestricted general fund.
I've never brought a contract to the board that identified the cap inside the contract language. That will be a change for me. So
Well, then
we do
I'm not
identify.
comfortable. I'm not comfortable approving a contract that, on the one hand, if information is being presented to us that says the cost will not exceed 168,000, what control do we have over that if we're approving this contract?
We would do that internally, and that's what we do with all our contracts. And so when we do the purchase order cannot exceed 100 the amount that's on here without board approval. So that's the control we have in place. The LACO wouldn't even approve a payment beyond the amount that's on this board agenda.
I have a separate question, and that is, how did you come to estimating that amount?
We utilize the remaining working days that we have in this year, and so that's the max that it would be, but our goal is not to even come close to that. That's subtracting out any holidays and the actual work days that we would utilize the individual up until budget development.
So
if
in
we needed
terms,
them through.
so in terms of the working days, how many is this one person? How many positions is this would this be utilized for?
This will be covering several positions, but it's only one person.
And is there travel time contemplated?
Yes, well, they're actually staying in the Airbnb, so they will not be commuting daily.
I actually would like to table this item until we do have a contract, because also in front of me, I don't have any figures other than what you're telling me, Mr. Mall.
So could you help me understand what I would need to provide? In the contract, it identifies the hourly rate, and this is through June 30th, and it would not exceed the amount that's that's on the agenda, but I can do an addendum. Just let me know what I need to provide, and I can give that for you. I can provide the calculation of the number of days that we projected to come up with the full amount, if that helps. But just let me know, and I'll be happy to provide it.
Well, I personally would like to have it in front of me before I make a vote on this, on 13.1.
Okay.
So I understand there's a motion to postpone the current main motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any additional discussion?
Yes, I do. So just to help me understand, and you can, I mean, I can have a discussion later. So this one person is going to be doing the work of how many positions we have internally in your, like, because you talk about extended vacancies and a vacancy of accounting supervisor.
Yes, and so we currently do not have our accounting supervisor. We're without our financial analyst. We currently have a payroll clerk that's out. So we would utilize this person. They have several levels and grades of expertise to help fill in the gaps until we have our positions filled.
Could I ask why we're paying the Airbnb for this individual until June 30th? June 30th?
No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that we won't have travel time because the person will be staying in the Airbnb. So we don't have to pay them from traveling from, let's say, from Los Angeles to get to Azusa.
Board Member Rodriguez Pena, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question. Did you have a specific date, a board meeting date for which you want to postpone it? Just so staff would know when that matter would come back. If you don't have a particular date, then the board president working with the superintendent.
Yes, I would like to leave it up to the board president and the superintendent because they set the calendar. Thank you for asking.
Okay, so the motion on the floor then is to table this, and that Ms. Ortega and myself will determine when to bring this back. So we will, if there's no further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote. And the motion passes 5-0. That brings us to 14.0, curriculum and instruction. 14.1, approval of the partnership between the Azusa Unified School District and Step Up Tutoring. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve 14.1.
I'll second.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Pena, second by Board Member Bo. Do we have any additional discussion?
Yes, I have questions. So how does this fit in with the other tutoring that we approved at previous board meetings?
I can go ahead and take that question. Thank you for that question. So this was recommended to us through LACO and the Community Schools Initiative. And so we see this as kind of a part of a comprehensive tutoring support. So we'll have in-person tutoring support during the day. This would be for additional students. This would be for, this is going to be after school. So it's online. It's for students to have homework help. It also includes mentoring. It has some additional enrichment activities. And so this is just, again, providing another layer to make sure that we have a very comprehensive tutoring program.
And then, so how does it align with our approach of having high dosage tutoring? Is it, do they get the same tutor assigned to them? I mean, is it like a program they sign up for, or is it just like
is it just, as an ad needed basis? How does it function?
Yeah. So I think what I hear you asking is, how are we going to coordinate this? So it would be the same type of coordination in terms of identifying students who we think would benefit for this kind of a tutoring support. A little different than the high dosage. High dosage, again, we are going to be selecting students who would be receiving ongoing tutoring with the same tutors, and this would be very similar. But the difference is that this would be after school. Students would be able to get homework help. This wouldn't be, in school, but they'd also get a component where they would get mentoring and then some enrichment. I think they are going to be doing some coding activities with students too, some group activities. So I think it's a really great opportunity to provide some tutoring and some mentoring as well. I think it also aligns with, community schools initiative as well. Did that answer your question?
Yes, I guess. And they will be meeting with the students during their school time. They take them out of the classroom, or how are they working?
Not this one. The other one that you approved previously, those tutors will be going into the classrooms and pushing in. They wouldn't be pulling students out. This step up tutoring program is where it would be online and it would be after school. And so, and the tutors, partner with the teachers and with families and really determining maybe students are having a difficult time at home by the time they get home and they need more help with their homework. In addition to that, the tutors really do develop relationships and provide mentoring to the students as well.
Sometimes I think it's great after school because the parents are able to participate just like they did with the online learning. How parents were speaking, how they were working with their students, and they enjoyed that because they never had that opportunity in the past.
Yeah, I agree with you. And this organization at this time it's not at any cost to us, but they'll also be collecting data along the way to see to what extent is it helpful, is it effective, how are students benefiting, what do families think about it. So again, just another kind of a layered approach to this, providing additional support to our kids. So we're really excited about it. This is a program that they've been doing in LAUSD, and they found some success there. And so they were looking for a smaller district in which to partner. So I've met with them several times to really learn about it and understand, the types of support they were providing. And I think it sounds like it's going to be a really a great idea.
And how will we monitor these tutors are knowing how it's working for us and for the students and families?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the ways is, again, to be able to look at data to see how students are doing on, for example, their reading or mathematics assessment. Another way, a great way to find out is through qualitative analysis, talking to the kids, talking to the families. Why is it that students, for example, if they go home and they're not doing their homework, maybe they don't have, anybody that is able to provide that support. Maybe they need some motivation. Maybe they need to find some connectedness, but a way to look at the data is both quantitatively and qualitatively as well. So I think they do have a pretty good comprehensive plan to be able to, to collect data for their own purposes as well. Because I do believe I think they've been grant funded. So I think they've got a process that they go through as well.
And who will be working with these parents or families, if they don't speak English or they speak another language?
Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about, is that we wanted to also make sure that we have tutors who speak Spanish, for example, right? And so they know that that's definitely something that is a desire for us. And so they're very open to that. They've got tutors who are either have college degrees or they're working on their college degrees. They provide them with some training. So they've got a I think a pretty good system that they have developed as well. So we're excited about making sure that we have tutors who speak Spanish as well, that can communicate with our students and our families.
And not only Spanish, and You know, also the students, we do have Vietnamese students in our schools at this time. We also have the students that have a different dialect that is not Spanish, right?
Yeah, like Quiche, right?
Yeah, yes, that's it. Yes.
Yeah, you know what, you bring up a really good point, because I know it's very difficult to, to find those that speak that dialect. So that's something I can talk to them about too, as well, to make sure that we can get a wide variety. So thank you for bringing that up.
Any additional comments or questions? Okay, then we'll move to a vote. And the motion passes 5-0. Moving on to 15.0, Human Resources. 15.1, Approval of Tiebreaker Resolution 21-22-11, Adult Education. Is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve 15.1.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña,
I'll second.
second by Board Member Bo. Any additional discussion? Then we will move to a vote. And the motion passes 5-0. Moving on to 15.2, Approval of Tiebreaker Resolution 21-22-12, Certificated Employee. Is there a motion on the floor?
I make a motion to approve 15.2.
I'll second.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña, second by Board Member Bo. Any discussion? Then let's vote. The motion passes 5-0. Now we have 15.3, Approval to establish the Purchasing Specialist position and job description. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve 15.3.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Board Member Cruz Gonzalez. Any discussion?
Can we get some background on the creation of this new position and how the job description was developed?
Yes, of course, and thank you for the question. This is a new position to the district. Purchasing specialist position is would be a non-management position. Previously, this role was a management position that oversaw several of our departments. With the decline of enrollment in our contracting schools, we saw the need to reinstitute this position as a non-management position. And so as we do with new positions, we looked at positions that are similar to this in other districts, and we worked with our business services department, who helped us put together this job description. And then the subsequent step was to work with the bargaining team from CSDA. The position was ultimately approved by CSDA and ratified, and now it's being brought here to the Board of Education.
Any additional discussion? Then we'll move to a vote. The motion passes 5-0. Moving to 15.4, Approval to establish the Fiscal Analyst position and job description. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve 15.4. Second.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña, seconded by Board Member Cruz Gonzalez. Any discussion?
Same question.
Yes, I was anticipating that. Thank you. So this is a genuinely new position to the district, and the position will perform a variety of technical and analytical fiscal functions that will support the district administration of grants and entitlement. I will see if Ms. Jamal wants to add to what I've just described.
No, sir.
And similarly, we brought this job description to it was developed in the same way By looking at some of the positions in other districts, we also interacted with our bargaining team. It was approved by the CSA bargaining team and ultimately voted on by members, and now it's being brought here to the Board of Education.
I have a question for Mr. Jamal. So this fiscal analyst position, is this one of the vacancies contemplated to be filled by the Ryland consultancy?
Yes, actually, both of these positions are listed as the vacancies that we need assistance with in purchasing as well as in a financial analyst.
Have these positions already been posted?
No, we can't post till we get board approval.
Thank you.
It will be posted tomorrow if the Board of Education approves.
Any additional discussion? Then we'll move to a vote. And the motion passes 5-0, which brings us to 16.0 and 16.1 adjournment. Is there a motion on the floor?
Make a motion to approve 16.1 adjournment.
Second.
Moved by Board Member Rodriguez Peña, seconded by Board Member Bo. Any discussion?
Bye.
I would add actually that we close in honor of Mr. Jorge Rosales this evening.
Yes.
Then with that, let's go ahead and vote. The motion passes 5-0. And so we close our meeting at 9:05 in honor of Mr. Jorge Rosales.